Hello guys and welcome back, and thanks for clicking on the channel. I'm walking into a big wood block. It's one of the biggest ones in the area I live in, North Cornwall, but I'm trying to get to a specific part. I've already had one way blocked by forestry works, and it looks like they're quite insistent on keeping people out. There is barbed wire fences there now, signage saying CCTV. So the route I was going to use is a no-go. I'm now having to bushwhack down through a big forestry block and see if I can pick up a known track to me further down. I'm pretty certain I may encounter the same situation as up there, but if so, I'm hoping I can go cross country and get to where I want to go. There is no forestry works. It's late Saturday afternoon, and it's dead still in here. I've seen nobody. I've only seen one loose black dog. Nothing from folklore or the beast of Bodmin Moor. It's simply somebody's pet Labrador dog. I don't know where it come from, and I don't know where it went. I turned my head and it was gone again. But in any case, I'm going to head off down through these trees, see if I can pick this track up, and then we'll see if we can make our way to where I want to get to show you guys and set up a camp there. It's beginning to get hard work. I am sweating a little bit. Once you get out of the sun, the temperature drops significantly, but walking on these exposed gravel tracks in the sun, it was getting quite warm. Right, I'm going to get my Bergen on and start getting down through this wood block. Well, I fought my way down through that wood block and come to a piece of fenced off moorland, but it sits inside the wood line. But it's like a, I don't know, water retention runoff kind of area. It's pretty boggy in there, and that is babies' heads everywhere. I wasn't making no progress. Plus there's two lots of barbed wire fence. So I've retraced my steps back up onto the gravel road, and I'm trying to get to it now by this means. I'm hoping there is a track, or there is a track that I can see on an old map that goes to the right, goes down the hill. But this has all been in vain if I can't get down to the bottom of the valley, get onto that track and make my way to where I want to go. I have just looked at Google Maps, and boy, they've done some extensive logging. There's just one small patch of trees or wood block which I can use if I can get to it. But time's going on. It may be I'll have to call a halt, set up camp and continue this in the morning. Now, I tried to capture some footage of a fox. Now you're thinking, what is a big deal about a fox? But I was filming it on maximum zoom, and he was sort of like maybe a bit more, 100 meters away. He was a big boy. I would estimate he was the size of a collie dog, a small collie dog. Now, you know, I know some channels go ghost hunting and looking for the Yeti and things like that in this country, but sometimes real life is more fascinating and, wow, more exhilarating. I would put that up with probably one of the biggest foxes I've seen in my life. He was a big boy, and you don't come across those that often. I hope you can appreciate the footage. I'm maxed out on my ability to shoot at it with the camera. So let's see where I am now and what I can do. Now I'm on a kind of trackway that looks like it hasn't been used for years. Started off as a good option. I'm pretty much following what I believe, or how I believe I can get to where I want to get to. I'm using a compass because I got no way of knowing which direction I'm going in here. But I keep running into these as obstacles and it's burning so much time. Just huge tracts of trees have been blown over. Yeah, it's getting to the point I'm going to be throwing camp up in the dark if I'm not careful. Well then guys, what a spectacular fail. It feels like I'm having a few of those at the minute. I've been going across country bushwhacking, pushing through, well, really difficult terrain. I'm back on a hard standing road, well, trackway. If I continue walking along this for another mile or so, I should get back to my car. Yes, that's right, I've called an end of play on this one. By now I really needed to have been in camp if I'm in an evergreen forest, because light is already getting dim in there. Where I was hoping to go, I'm not going to say where I was going to go. All I was going to say is it ties in with a conversation I had on one of my previous videos about where our history and heritage is so far removed and kept almost at arm's length from us. And I was going to take you to somewhere really, well, it's dear to my heart. I've been there multiple times. But since my last visit, there's been logging activity in the woodlands surrounding it. You can't get in there. So, and I've tried to do a circular to come around on myself, which has meant bushwhacking. And I'm absolutely blown. I'm threaders. And setting up camp and spending overnight in this woodland and not achieve what I set out to achieve doesn't fill me with a lot of prospects of having a successful camp. If I'd have come here just to camp, that would have been fine, but my main aim was to get to that site. So I'm going to head off out and convince my wife I may need to try and do a wild camp tomorrow. Well then guys, I suppose I've got to close this video down in some kind of positive manner, really. Let's face it, I didn't succeed in getting to my objective, and then on top of that, I haven't done a wild camp. Quite simply, it's too dark in the forest now. I needed to have had time to soak in the atmosphere and enjoy being there and film it in a context you guys could have seen. It's just way too dark now. It would have been just shelter up, food, and straight in the sleeping bag. And I failed to get to the historic site. I do have it on film in the previous video where I hiked into it. And the irony about that is there was trees, and there's not going to be trees there now. But in any case, yeah, there's nothing really to say, really. I'm hoping that I can pull a wild camp off and just do a wild camp. I'll forget trying to get to that monument for a while. I'll wait for them to finish the logging around it. So yeah, all that's left to be said is thanks for coming along on this failed mission, but we might yet pull something out of the bag. I'll have to wait and see what happens tomorrow. So take care, stay safe, and I hope to catch you guys on the trail. Right, I'm back home and I'm walking the dogs. Last light, the light is beginning to fade. Hopefully I'll be able to get that sunset for you. But I do have some good news. Well, this is a unexpected surprise and pleasure for Star and Bracken. Jamie wouldn't have been able to take them out for their last walk, but guess what? They're getting one now. Now look at that, guys, that is spectacular. And to put everything into perspective, geographically, we were on the opposite side to Kilmartor. But look at that. I wouldn't have seen that from the forest, obviously, if I had decided to camp. Well, all those pinks have gone, it's just oranges now. The one reason I haven't named this archaeological site that I was going to try and get to and take you guys to is quite simply because in this day and age, you know, with monuments, you know, even if they stretch way back in prehistory, there's still always that danger that somebody might feel that they have good cause and reason to attack it or damage it. So I wasn't going to name it. I was just going to take you there and show you it, and if you know about it, you know about it, but I wasn't going to make it blatantly obvious. A little bit of protection of our history and culture, but yeah, it's a shame I couldn't get to show you it really. I'm sure I'll get there once they open up the forestry, but I will try and find the name of the video I did where I hiked in and you can see it in all its glory with trees around it. If you check out the description for this video, because I don't know how to put thumbnails up on the screen, you know, for other links, so to speak. I'll have to learn how to do that, but I'll put the name of the video in the description box. So if you search back through my back catalogue, you can see the monument I was hoping to take you to. Right then, yes, it's a go. We're going to get a wild camp tomorrow evening. The reasons being is, number one, I'm going to go to, and I'm going to keep my promise, we're going to actually camp in an evergreen forest, and that's going to be where the bushcraft shelter is, so I can do one of two things there. Get an evergreen forest for a change, and check on the bushcraft shelter. Secondly, I don't have to leave home quite as early. I can leave it later in the afternoon because it's just up the road from me. And thirdly, I can get back for the school run and help the wife get the kids ready and everything like that, because yet again, it's just up the road. So it ticks all the boxes for a Sunday wild camp for me. So on a positive, if you're just getting into wild camping, you can see evidently, even a seasoned outdoors person like myself, it can go all awry and go wrong. Admittedly, it wasn't the wild camping side that went wrong for me. It was me trying to get to a location I wanted to show you guys, and I wanted to look at myself, and it didn't pan out. A little bit on my part, I could have done a recce beforehand. I didn't, and possibly you know, planned it a little bit better rather than just go, do you know what, this weekend is, I'm going to do that. And obviously it hasn't paid off for me. So yeah, lesson learnt there for me as well. Now for me, wild camping, if I'm doing it, I really do like to soak in the atmosphere. The whole point of it is for me to be out in nature and experience it, right away from, you know, being there, creating the camp, enjoying the camp and the atmosphere and the surroundings, and then going into the nighttime routine through to the morning. Just basically chucking the shelter up, having something to eat and getting in your DOS bag doesn't really fulfill or tick the boxes for me to be outdoors, to be honest with you. I like the whole package, and that's the reason I do it. So as much as I feel aggrieved that I've wasted a little bit of time today, I have been outdoors. I've expended some energy, and you know, the outdoors is my gym. I don't pay to go to a gym, so even though I've come home and my legs are, well, when I got back to the car, they had a little bit of the shakes because I was lugging a heavy burden through some pretty difficult terrain, to be honest with you. Yeah, so stick with me, and tomorrow I'll get this wild camp done, and it'll be up Monday or Tuesday evening. And yeah, so I'm just going to sign out now. So take care, stay safe, and hope to catch you guys on the trail.